the retrieval practice should have some level of struggle involved. So this is the third sticky note. We encode it, we retrieve it, and we need to make sure that there's some struggle. This comes from an idea developed by Richard Mayer. It was first published in 2015. It's known as generative learning. What separates a highly effective strategy, approach, or intervention is who did the generating, who had to select, organize, and integrate the content, skills, and understandings. Was it us or was it the learner? We found that when learners are engaged in generative learning, where they're selecting, they're organizing, and they're integrating, that's the optimal or the ideal level of struggle that should go in our retrieval practice and our encoding. So what are some things that fit this bill? Well, one is summarizing. It's a very effective strategy, but they're summarizing. They're selecting the big ideas, organizing it into a coherent message, and integrating it into what they already know. So do you ask your learners to summarize, or do we summarize for them? Mapping. Concept mapping has a high effect size. Why? Because in order to effectively concept map or map any kind of thinking, the learner has to select, organize, and integrate. But this is not something we can just turn them loose on. This is one of my favorite. I asked a group of students one time to develop a concept map about chapter 4. What did they do? They went through and they pulled out all the bold words, arranged them on the paper, drew circles around them and lines to connect them. So instead, we have to use the gradual release of responsibility to build it up. So maybe we start early on by providing graphic organizers, where we provide the structure, they still have to do the selecting and organizing. But over time, they get better. So then we can have them take key words, arrange them, and put how they're connected on those lines. And if they get really good at this, then all of a sudden we can shift over to a concept map where they're actually doing all of the selecting, all of the organizing, and all of the integrating.